Okay, if you're a huge fan of my channel, and statistically speaking, it's not impossible that one of my 4 subscribers is, then you'll probably be wondering, what are you doing? You usually build stuff, which is true. But what happened is I'm primarily a car guy, and so I have my main channel is Antimatter Garage, and I had the misfortune of all of my cars breaking at one time. And with the big effort I was expending to try and get them running again so we weren't, walking, I managed to hurt my shoulder. And I think I kept re-injuring it the more I worked. I hurt my thumb too. And so as a consequence, I stopped doing any kind of weight-bearing exercise, whether it was my own weight or actual weights. No push-ups, no pull-ups, nothing. And that went on for like 11 or 12 weeks. Took a long time to heal, and that's like 77 doggy weeks, so a long time. And when I finally was ready to do it again, I thought maybe a challenge like this would sort of kickstart me back into doing weight-bearing exercises. So that's kind of why I'm doing them. I also kind of wanted to see what would happen if I did them every day to the max number I could do at one time. And so, as a consequence, I set up a few little rules. The main one is that I have to do 100 push-ups a day, but the other one is that the first set of push-ups would be standard push-ups, and I would go for my max. That way I could track my progress as time went on. And that's about it, really. The reason I'm posting the video, though, is basically motivation. I'm not a very disciplined person, and I could easily see myself opting for ice cream instead of push-ups. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've done that many times in the past. So anyway, I decided that I was going to post this video, success or failure. That way I would be really motivated, not to fail. Now you may be thinking, this is a good way to hurt myself again, but in fact, for the last week I did a set, and I waited a couple of days because I was pretty sore both the next day and the day after that. And then I did some more, and then I took a break, and then I did a couple more. I haven't done any in a couple of days now, but I've given myself the green light to go ahead and do this. So you can sit back, relax, and critique the quality of the push-ups, because I'm certain I'm going to get comments about how I was doing them all wrong or whatever. I'll do my best, though, and I'm not going to make you suffer through every single push-up. You already suffered through the intro, but I will show you the first set. Here we go. Okay. Okay. By my count, that was 40. First set. Alright, I just got done doing my first 100, but in between sets, I also did a program called T25. It's like 25 minutes of pretty intense cardio, actually. I did 40, 30, and 30. So, yeah, I'm going to feel it tomorrow for sure. I forgot to do the before, so it's kind of weird for me to do this on the internet, but turn around. This ain't no peep show. Alright, so this is the before. Now, check this out. Alright, so if this looks better, afterward, I can't say that it's all due to the push-ups because I'm still doing other exercise. Plus, I think this is food, this is exercise. So, but we will see what it looks like in 30 days. Till then, happy push-ups. All right, let's take a little break from that for a moment, because I imagine watching a 54-year-old guy do a bunch of push-ups can be pretty boring. So, before I start, I just wanted to say that I'm constantly amazed by the range of human capabilities. You get people who can't climb a ladder out of fear, and you get other people who climb a tower that's 1,700 feet tall just to change a light bulb. And I'm not joking, I'll put a link in the description. I used to climb towers, and when I watch this video, I find it frightening, because I didn't climb anything near that tall. Anyway, what really brought this to the forefront of my mind was a long time ago. I heard two stories close in time to each other. And the first one was a fluff piece where people would go out into sub-zero temperatures to sleep overnight in sleeping bags, like for fun. Like, coming from Florida, I can't imagine anything less fun than that. But I couldn't find a reference to that story, so I'm just going by memory. I think they were up in Minnesota or Canada or something like that. The other story was of 4 Army Rangers who died in survival training of hypothermia. And so these are tough guys, right? And get this, it was in the state of Florida. Yeah, Florida. And I will quote, I found that story, 1995 AP News. Temperatures were in the low 70s Wednesday, and the overnight lows in the low 60s. 60s. So I lived in Iowa for a brief period of time where I found it was way too cold. And if the temperatures got into the 60s, people would have put on short pants. So how do these guys, obviously the details are important here, right? I mean, these guys were in water, and the sleeping bags were probably high resolution or something, I don't know. But the point is that the limits of human capabilities just seriously just astounds me. So what does this have to do with push-ups? Well, that amazement extends to push-ups as well. So let's play a little game right now, okay? A game I call Let's Guess at Stuff. Go off and guess what you think the maximum number of push-ups anyone has done at one time. Go ahead, I'll wait. Oh. And I get a copyright strike on that. Okay, time's up. You should have a number by now. My wife and I guessed 500 or 600. Thought that was a pretty good number. But as it turns out, we were not only one, but nearly 2 orders of magnitude off. That's right. The maximum number of push-ups done all at one time, 10,507. I mean, right? Am I right? I mean, I can't. Look, I'm speechless. 10,507. This is a thing? Really? All right. The guy's name was Minoru Hoshida. I probably messed that up. It was done in 1980. I hope he isn't watching. I mean, he's probably in pretty good shape. He'd still be alive, right? I mean, I'm not even doing half. I'm not even I feel inadequate when I read stuff like this. All right, anyway, I'll just, another little bit of trivia here. When I was looking up that number, I came up with like the top 3, I think. And the very first guy who ever had a world record in this, his name was Charles Linster. He did 6,006. I mean, what a wuss, right? He's not even 60% of the way there. Anyway, his story is really interesting. Turns out he's like a gymnast, and he wanted to make his mark in the world and felt like this was the way he could do it. And, I mean, he did for quite a while, I guess. 6,006, a lot of push-ups. And later he broke his back or his neck, and he wound up having to try and learn how to walk. So he had a whole new challenge going on there. All right, so the woman's record for this is, I'll give you a second to come up with an idea, and the answer is 808. That was way off. Based on the men's, I thought it'd be way higher than that. And not to belittle her achievement at all, because I'm not even doing anything near that much, right? Her name is Mia Hepburn from Canada, and that record was set in 2017, so it's actually a fairly recent record. If you're a woman out there and you want to make your name in the world of maximum push-ups, then you have a much easier job of it than the men do, I guess. All right. Another interesting one was the maximum number done in 1 hour was a guy named Bajinder Singh. I'm pretty sure I did mess that one up. I don't know where that was from, India or Pakistan, I would assume. 1988, 3,877. Wow. All right, so take another guess here. What's the maximum number of push-ups done within a 24-hour period of time? So now this is with breaks, of course, 24 hours, right? You got to go to the bathroom at some point, I imagine. You're probably way off. I know that when I heard 10,507, I guessed a little high. The number's 46,001. What's with the one again? I don't know. I think I do this myself sometimes. If I want to say I did a certain amount and I maybe lose count, I just throw an extra one in to make sure I got that high. Maybe he's doing, or maybe he timed out. 24 hours. All right, his name was Charles Servizio from USA, although the record was done in Croatia in 1993. It's probably Croatian-American or something. Anyway, there's a video of this one, and I'll put a link in that one too, and I was impressed by his push-ups. He had like full lockout for sure. I'm not sure he went all the way down. It's something I also had trouble with, but I mean, who am I to complain? 46,001, right? And finally, 124. What's that record for? It's the maximum done on one finger. Yeah, one finger. I mean, it'd break my finger if I tried to do that, and I wouldn't use that finger, that's for sure. So, Paul Lynch from Great Britain did that. So, if you, like me, are amazed at the limits of human capability, maybe go out there and see if you can set some of these records for yourself, because I can tell you right now, it ain't going to be me. All right, it's day 27. I'm doing push-ups and my wife's eating ice cream. This is just not fair. Okay, it's day 30, last day. I'm gonna go for my max, and we'll see what the difference is between day one. But I made a mistake and I worked out last night, so that may affect what I can do today. Also, they won't be the highest quality, I can assure you that, and I'll address all that. 54, if I counted correctly. It has now been 31 days since I started my challenge, so my challenge is over, and I am prepared to give you the results and my conclusions. I'll put a little chart up here while I'm talking, and you can see that this is how I progressed with my maximum number of push-ups, which is the first set that I did. You may notice a little issue there in the middle. Just ignore that for now. I'll discuss that in a bit. But if you look at the trend line going from day 1, I got 40 maximum push-ups, and day 30 I got 54, which was equivalent to the most I'd ever done in a single day. And the trend line was generally up. What surprised me was that it didn't go up as fast as I'd hoped. Now, if I were 20 years old, maybe that would go up a little faster, I don't know. But what also surprised me is you'll notice here on day 3, right around day 3, I actually went sort of down after, like, by a lot. And if you look over here where I did, the first day that I did 50 push-ups, I can't remember now, I'm not looking at it, so it's something like day 24 or 25 or something like that. You'll notice that I did 50, 50, 50. I was like desperate not to drop below 50, but I dropped way below, down to 43. So these dips were a little bit surprising to me. I had expected it to either go up or sort of maintain the same value. Now here's a plot that also has my second set on there. Of course, the second set isn't as high as the first set because you get tired and you can't do as many. And it's a similar trend. Here's a plot that has the third set on them, and obviously they're just a few because I was polishing off the last few. And you can even see that toward the end there is no third set. I was able to complete all 100 push-ups in just 2 sets. And finally, I plotted my weight. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I think weight has a lot more to do with what you eat than how you exercise. I do believe the two are related, but I think what you eat has way more of an effect. And you can see here my weight went up and down, but it's basically kind of a flat line. In fact, on the last day, I'm actually 0.2 of a pound less than I was on day 1. So let's just call it the same weight. It should be good for the before and after view. I'd also like to note, on a side note, that I put my body mass index into a calculator and found that I am at 25.2, which puts me 0.2 into the overweight category. Now, I kind of consider myself a little bit overweight. I'd like to lose another 10 pounds. The scale that I had on the weight was where I want to be, about 165. And at that weight, I would be in the normal range. But interesting to note, I would have to lose more than 40 pounds before I drop below the normal weight. If you see me 40 pounds lighter than I am now, I'm pretty sure I'm about to die. There's no way I'd ever get down to that weight. And if I lost 40 pounds, that's 18 kilos for people with a normal scale, I would still be at the low end of normal. Yeah, I'm not so sure about those scales. They're really not meant for everybody. All right, so you're back again. I've tried to get the lighting and the camera position the same as it was before. I will now show you the results. And yeah, I did get a haircut, which is kind of nice. All right. To be honest, I have not seen these results myself, so as soon as I turn this off, I'm going to go look on the computer. I'm interested to see, is this better, worse, the same? I mean, I look every day in the mirror, so I don't see a big change, but there's front, and just like last time, there's the side. I'm not trying to embellish here, but I will now. And of course, the so, I don't know, you'll have to tell me. Kind of think a little bit better. It's hard to see in the little teeny tiny screen there. I don't know. This is the kind of gain I think a normal person, normal fitness, my age, get. I mean, I'm not embellishing, I'm not lying here. This is what I got. I did 100 push-ups a day. So, you know, you can decide on that. All right, those are the results. Now, let me talk about the conclusions. Alright, so I just reviewed that video and I saw that it was all blurry, and I apologize for that, but at least the before and after was not blurry. So I'm continuing on from this point forward with my cell phone until I get a new camera. It's really annoying. Conclusions. I'll get right back to that. Okay, I just reviewed the video and I have to say that I'm really disappointed. I mean, I can't see any difference at all between the before and after, and I'll show you here while I'm talking. Of course, the camera's going a little bit blurry and the lighting isn't the same. It's the same camera, same lighting, but I guess the white balance in the camera is not doing so well, just like the autofocus. My wife says I look tighter in the after pictures, and I think in reality, when I look at myself and I think if I turn my arm and look at my tricep, it seems a little bit tighter. I know I feel a little bit better, but I mean, we're talking like get out the micrometers here to try to see a difference, so I'll let you judge. I will now explain why I had that little plateau at 20 in the middle of my curves. It's because I think I ran up against a typical case of overtraining. What I was essentially doing was training to failure on every single set. I put at the beginning of this video, fail with a question mark, not to act as clickbait, although I'm kind of thinking now that this whole video may be kind of a clickbait, but rather to let you decide whether or not I failed. I set up at the beginning a set of rules, and one of the rules was that I was going to do standard push-up form on the first set to my maximum in order to try and track my progress. You know, was my maximum going up or whatever. That led me to doing the first set of push-ups to failure. A secondary goal of mine, I don't remember if I mentioned it at the beginning of the video or not, but was to try and reduce the number of sets over which I did the 100 push-ups. That led me to trying to do as many push-ups as I could in the second set, and then again training to failure. By the time I got to the third set, I only had a few push-ups left to do, which was really not much of a challenge at all. So in order to give myself a challenge, I wound up doing it with weights or going really, really slow, and again wound up training myself to failure. And about the halfway point, I decided to reevaluate this position and decided that what I really needed was a break. But I didn't want to violate the 100 push-ups a day challenge. So I reduced the number of reps that I did and increased the number of sets I did to 5. I went the opposite way of what I was trying to do because 20 push-ups wasn't too hard for me. Although by the time I got to the 5th set, I felt like I kind of was training again. Anyway, I did that to take a little break in the middle, hoping that that might have some kind of an effect on, you know, my maximum number of reps. Another way in which I might have failed, and I'll let you decide, is it's possible over the 30 days I never did a single push-up. Because along the way I was doing a bit of research into what is actually a push-up. You saw some of the other research I did with the mind-boggling world records, right? Well, fortunately, there's a fair amount of consensus on what a push-up actually is, so it wasn't too hard for me to formulate an opinion with a fairly high level of confidence. In fact, most of the experts didn't so much disagree with each other as they did sort of include or exclude certain pieces of information. So by going to many different sources, I was able to come up with a full sum of what a push-up is. I would like to demonstrate for you right now what I think a real push-up is and how I probably should have been doing them. Rigid, and then I'm going to come down like that. I think that's just about right. You come down controlled and you come up very, very slowly. But while I'm down here, I'd like to discuss a couple of other push-ups. One of the ones I saw I thought was really kind of weird is the guy had his hands like this. And I guess he was like that. I'm going to try this. I've never done this before. Hopefully I don't hurt myself. And he kind of came up like this. So that's a kind of a weird one. But here is one that really astounds me.
I hope I'm on camera now. I can't see myself with my cell phone. When I was young, there was a guy by the name of Jack LaLanne. He was kind of like the original fitness guru. He was a showman. He liked to do all kinds of stunts. When he was 70, he celebrated his birthday by swimming across a harbor, towing 70 small boats with a person in each one of them. I guess just because he could. And he was real into getting all kinds of physical exercise, and he was also into health food. He never ate any sugar. He admitted before the age of 18 that he was actually a sugar junkie, and I guess he decided to turn his life around. And he lived to be 96, so that's pretty good. He was actually a little bit before my time. I'm not quite that old, but I knew of him still. And one of the things I saw him do, he was still around when I was alive. And one of the push-ups I saw him do, I tried myself, and I could do at that time probably about 50 push-ups. I was much younger, and they seemed easier back then. So I figured I had a good chance of doing this. If you're going to do this at home, I want to warn you right now, it's very easy to hurt yourself. But so approach it very slowly, and I'll show you what he did. I'm still having trouble even believing it, because this guy was doing these when he was seriously old. But the push-up, you form a little diamond, and you put your hands out here, okay? And I'm going to try it. For real, I'm going to try this. I'm not faking it or anything. I'm going to try and do a push-up this way right now. Hopefully I don't hurt myself. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I mean, I'm not even close. And the first time I did that, I actually kind of hurt my back. So, yeah, I don't know how he does. I think what you do is you have to work your way out, right? You start here, and then you move here, and you move here, and you move here. And that just goes to show you, again, the conventional wisdom is there are certain ways you can do push-ups that may hurt you. And they're saying don't put your arms out like this, right? You'll hurt yourself. I honestly believe you're just working out a different group of muscles if you do something that might hurt you. It's really only detrimental if you do it right away. If you sort of work into that and you're careful and you don't hurt yourself, I think overall you might actually find a benefit or a gain that you wouldn't have found had you not done them that way. Like this clearly is this is going to hurt me if I try and do these. But if I work up to it and I get to the point where I've got that kind of strength, I think obviously I'm going to be working muscles that weren't being worked before, right? So I'll let you form your own opinions.
Okay, so did I fail? Do I think I failed? No, I don't actually, because what I was doing was a challenge. And I think I completed the spirit of that challenge. My goal was to kind of kickstart myself back into the world of lifting weights and doing pull-ups and push-ups and other weight-bearing exercises and that sort of thing. And I did do 100 push-ups a day for 30 days. And I didn't miss a day, and that's hard. And that's, for me, the hardest thing. I'm not a very disciplined person. And I knew that if I didn't have the challenge there were at least 2-3 days during the 30 days where I thought to myself, I'll just go to bed. And I thought, oh no, I gotta do my push-ups. I can't get them in. I don't want to wait till right before I go to bed when I'm really tired. So I'd always do them right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Something would come up, start pushing the time. I'm getting towards 6. I really want to eat. And one of the things I didn't mention was the interval of time in between my push-ups. So my goal was to do 100 in a day. To me, that didn't matter. I could do a bunch in the morning and the last one's late at night. As long as I got 100 in a day, I was meeting my challenge. I knew that my muscles would be sore, and I wanted to try and give them as much rest, and I would give myself the best possibility of increasing the maximum amount I could. So I gave myself a very long break, 30 minutes. I started at 30 minutes. But as time went on, I shrank that down, and I got down to about 12 minutes at the end, with 15 being pretty much my norm for the last 10 days or so. So I went from 30 minutes to 20 minutes to 15 minutes in between. Maybe it should be more like 2 minutes, but again, if I had done that, I would have burned out. I knew I wasn't going to get to my 100. So this was a challenge. Am I going to keep doing these push-ups now that I'm done? Yes and no. I'm going to keep doing push-ups, but I think I'm going to do them the right way, because you shouldn't do push-ups as a challenge. In fact, these challenges are just stupid, really. If you do 100 push-ups as a warm-up before you do, whatever exercise you're going to do, weightlifting or something, then it's not a challenge at all. If you can't do a push-up, you fail on the first day, right? That would be more of a learning how to do a push-up in 30 days video. So whether or not this challenge it doesn't really make any sense for everybody. It's only a challenge for those people where 100 push-ups would be a challenge. And again, doing it that way, to me, is literally just a challenge. It isn't exercise, and you should do push-ups as an exercise. So from now on, I intend to do push-ups, probably not every single day, but definitely as part of my regular workout routine, but I intend to do them the right way, really slow, and I'm going to try and make some substantial actual gains, and I'm going to give my muscles time to rest. So there you have it. I hope this was enlightening to somebody. They enjoy it. Put your comments below and let me know how it is. And also, don't forget I have a sister channel called the Antimatter Garage, where I work on cars. It's all car stuff there. You come here for everything else. And that's it. Thank you for viewing. And I'll leave you with this philosophical question. Why would anybody try and put on 5 pounds of muscle when it's so much easier to put on 5 pounds of fat?
What?